All right, guys, we're going to just get the stream back up and hopefully get something good. And we'll do this teaching stream. Okay, pretty standardized start. I'm going to approach from this corner. Pretty good play. This particular Joseki, I think, does favor black in this circumstance. That is the right way to play it, because it does build up his influence over here. Now, you are actually giving a decent amount of... territory on the side, but it should be okay. It should be fine in exchange for extending your influence. It really depends on how well you use the influence, however. I'm actually willing to give him the extension over here. He's basically giving up bottom territory for influence. It looks like he's actually got a lot of influence on this side, but I can approach over here. I don't think that's the best move in this instance. You still have this move later, but I can also just I can also get sort of a base over here as well. I don't think that's a good move for me, actually. That's definitely not a good move for him. I think he's really committed to attacking this, and I'm not really sure how truly viable that is. He's got a good amount of territory over here. I'm going to Hane this first because it is actually a pretty big move. If he doesn't respond, there's a lot of things I can actually do in here if he doesn't actually respond. So I'm actually reducing the territory he has here. There is some territory in here, I believe, but I don't think there's a lot. And as for the territory in here, there's just not that much territory you can actually gain in here. I'm going to do this because this is actually fairly large. It does kind of settle me as well, so he can't truly attack me after this. And like I said, there's not that much territory in here. So like this move generally, if it wasn't for settling this group, I probably wouldn't do this. He can actually fluctuate in here, but at least there's like a Sente Eye here. So to me, that's fine. I'm going to jump this. This is pretty much like standard. It's not, there's not that much territory in here for him to actually get. I think I'm going to do this here. He can try to invade, but it wouldn't be a good idea for him to invade. And I'm okay. I'm definitely okay with just getting the territory up here. There's not. I'm not going to answer that. Or maybe I am. I mean, there's no reason not to, I guess. That I just don't think is a good move. I don't know why people keep doing that. I don't know if that's big enough right now for me to actually answer. It takes him another whole move to capture those two. And I think there are other moves that are just way, way bigger. Like, I'm actually going to do this right now. I feel like this securing like that is going to be much bigger. And I don't really have to answer that. In fact, right now I'm not going to answer that. And I think I'm just going to do this. Oh, well, that might have been a bad move. Okay, if I do this and let him cut, is that a bad thing? Because I don't want him to get a charge. I'm going to take the risk and do this. I don't know how this turns out. This is an automatic block. And I'm actually going to... do I do this? I don't really know. I think I'm going to do this first. There are definitely ways to make this work. Okay, he's vying for a trade right there. It's actually a pretty good makeshift use of this this advantage that he has. Probably shouldn't have done this. Since everything is still somewhat at risk, probably shouldn't have done that. It's very risk. It's a pretty risky move by me. That was probably not a good move overall, because it probably does extend his. It probably does extend his territory over here. Oh, but it makes the game interesting, doesn't it? Oh wait. Oh, that's pretty bad for me actually over there. This is actually really bad for me over here. Now that I look at it. Forces me to fight the code, which I really don't want to do. This is actually okay, though. I don't think that's a smart move. I'm not going to try to protect the territory down here. I actually don't have that much territory right now is the problem. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and fix this then. He actually did get quite a bit of territory here. Can I actually do this, though? Probably not. Yeah, screw it. I'm gonna see if he knows how to kill me. That's what I'm actually more interested in now than actually playing this game the way it's like. I guess like I could play the game correctly, I would guess, but I want to see if he actually knows how to kill this group, or can he actually kill this group? That's actually what's most interesting to me right now. Because there's going to be a lot of like mistakes probably made on both sides, and it'll be interesting to it'll actually be really interesting to rewatch this game. Um, it will be very interesting to rewatch this game. I'm just going to do this. He can have those 3 stones. Those 3 stones actually aren't that big. Hmm. Okay with this. Now he's got to watch out. He's actually got to watch out for this down here. Probably not going to answer that. In fact, I'm gonna go for it down here. I definitely didn't play this game right. This game was just like a lot of exploration of like what I would actually do, like what's actually kind of interesting to play, instead of like what I should play. There's also another problem for him in this game, which I will go later because I should have basically taken initiative to destroy this territory first before anything else. I actually don't think I have enough territory to win this game. And that's actually pretty interesting. I'll see what else I can do here. Because like this actually ended up being a lot of points. Oh, that's interesting. Let's do this. This is better. It's actually turning out to be a really, really interesting game. This is actually really turning out to be a very interesting game. Oh, you know I'm going to do that. That is not even a consideration. I might have just killed myself, though, here is the problem. Huh. Can't quite do that. Definitely might have just killed myself here. Either way. Either way, that's the way to go.
Yoyomi.
This is very interesting. I actually like this kind of game. That's actually really that's probably the right move. That is most likely the right move because it's actually really hard for me to make eyes in here. It's very, very hard for me to make eyes in here. But that's part of what makes Go so fun. Also, I also do get more streamers and watchers if I make these games close. this is actually this is a really bad situation for me because I still don't have two eyes. I probably shouldn't have done that actually. No, I shouldn't have done that. That's not two eyes. It's actually bad. That's a bad move by me. Okay. Kind of a strange move by him. Definitely kind of a strange move by him, but I think that's fine actually. I still don't have any way to make two eyes. So I'm pretty sure I actually lost this game. All right, so he did know.
9.
So he did
8,
actually know how to kill me. Nice,
7.
nice.
Black wins.
All right, let's actually go back and review this game. I obviously made some screw-ups, mostly to make the game interesting. I obviously made a few screw-ups to make the game interesting. Instead of playing the game the way I should be. So this is okay. I think, like I said, I think this actually does favor black because he's actually building his influence over here. That's fine. This is actually okay as well. And this is okay. Like I said, I don't really favor this move. I think there's other things you could possibly do here with this. He's taking advantage here, obviously, but that's fine. If it were me, I would probably... Well, this is actually okay as well. That I shouldn't have done. I probably should have just connected. Because if I do this, you still leave the room for things like this in the future. So I basically did this to solidify this group down here. I feel like this move is decently big because this move is still a little bit in trouble if I don't do this. And plus I got the Sente anyways. That shouldn't have, since this is already done, I probably should have just done this to decrease this territory in here. Yeah, see, this is actually something like this is actually way bigger than I thought. He can't actually do this because that doesn't work for him. So actually taking away this territory in here is really big. And since I already got and since I already have this territory, he can't really kill this group. So that's actually a big mistake. That's actually a really big mistake. This is actually a really big mistake for me to actually... this is actually a really big mistake for me not to do this. Because the value of this is actually really, really big. There's really not much else. He can do something like this. You either do that or you do something like this. Or possibly do something like this, right? This is not necessary right now. So that's a big mistake by me. Letting him do this. Of course, I really don't understand this move, honestly. I really don't understand this move, why people keep doing this. I don't think that's a good move. That's too small right now. I feel like you should be doing something like this at this point, expanding your territory. And this is kind of where I kind of screw up. I feel like at this point the game is pretty close, so I could just... I think he would want to start a fight anytime I go in here. I think this is... I mean, this is bad for black, obvious. This is bad for white, for the most part. Because I'm separating myself out. I'm too weak right now. And right now, this is actually a ko if I do this, so... here I'm taking the chance to actually repair this, but I've already lost a little bit over here. Like, I was actually thinking of, when he does this, I was actually thinking of kind of like doing this and seeing if he can actually kill this group. Because if I do this, he doesn't really have any territory unless he kills this group. He would have to do something like this. I always kind of like, and it is actually kind of hard to live this. If he wants to kill these 3 stones, like if he does this, I would have to do this right now, and then like him doing this would actually make it very hard for me to actually live. I would probably have to do something like this and try to use kind of like my advantages right here, but I don't really see 2 eyes in here. So here, this is the obvious move. This is by far the obvious move, and it's still pretty even here. Slash white is slightly ahead if I do this, but like I said during the game, I want to know if I want to see if he knows how to kill this group. So I just took the territory. This is a very, very bad move. You should not do this. I mentioned this when I was playing the game as well. You should definitely do this. This is by far the most obvious move right now. So I did this. He does this. I Atari here. I do this. He does that. These are fine moves. So when he does this, I take, he does that, and then I do this. Obviously, like with Katago, like the thing is, like when I did this, I know this is already dead. I just wanted to see if I can actually like make something of it. Generally, if I'm playing like if I'm playing an even game, I wouldn't play like this. Well, first of all, I wouldn't play like this because when he actually does this, I would easily do this because it's pretty easy for me to see like it's actually really easy for me to see like the problems of me like doing this because this group is actually really weak. So the rest of this is kind of like I Atari, he connects, I do this, he does that, I block, he does that. This is me like seeing like if I can scrap out something here. Once he does this though, I should have just done this. Yes, he can go down, but this is like already alive, so I can like just do something like this and see how he responds. And then like black is slightly ahead here, but he's not so far ahead that I can't pull it back in the end game. So I definitely made some pretty big mistakes here, obviously. I mean, halfway purposely, but still. When he does this, I should definitely just do this. I can squeeze here and see what he does, and then play the ko on this side. That would definitely be a lot better than what I actually did. Yes, this particular ko is pretty heavy for me, obviously, and he has plenty of ko threats because like this group in here is dead if he does this. So there's a lot of ko threats here. Like if I just take this, he can kind of like do something like this, and this group is dead. So he has a lot more ko threats than I do. But like when I do this, this is essentially just dead. Him doing that, and then like me doing this, seeing like if he actually knows how to respond. That's actually a pretty good move. Obviously, like this really isn't. I don't think that's necessary right now. There's not 2 eyes down there. I feel like a better choice right now would just be to kind of like shore up here or something. Yeah, I have 1 eye down here, but I can't make 2 eyes here. I actually looked at this because if I do this, you can just do this. And then do this, and then kind of like do this, and I'm still dead. So you don't actually have to do that down there. And that's pretty good. There is a gote now. To be fair, there is a gote eye here, so I'm just basically trying to make a sente eye up here. So I might have been better off doing this, but I still don't see how I would actually make an eye down here. So I'm trying to expand the eye as big as possible. And I don't think I really ever had a chance down here. That's a... That's fine, but like that's a bad move. I shouldn't have taken that. I don't think there's any real way I can actually make an eye down here though, because like as long as he does this, he's alive, and there's no way for me to actually make an eye. So he actually did a good job of killing this. So I'm gonna go ahead and play another game. So see, it is possible for me to drop one of these games. So I'm gonna go ahead and play another game. And this time I actually might just play a little bit safer because like that game was essentially me kind of like testing to see like if he knew how to kill that group. And he did. So he did a good job of actually killing that group. So if you want to play, go ahead and accept my challenge. Started. All right, let's try this. Disconnections are always a bit of a problem when I do this sometimes, but we'll see. Also, it does get more people interested if I make the games kind of close. I still think there's a lot of learning even if the games aren't close. But if I make more games spicy, I think like people are much more interested. I don't know about that move. I'm gonna go ahead and block. I think it's probably better to block this. I think I probably should have blocked the other way, but we'll see. I really don't like that for black. Letting white get that kind of extension. I guess it is kind of a Joseki. I don't really know. I know he can cut here, but I'll just go down this way if he does. Letting me get this Hane is a bad idea. The Hane is too big. I don't know if this ladder actually works. Probably not. I'm just going to connect. But letting me have the entire corner and get Sente is just not a good idea. He might try to invade down here, but invading down here wouldn't be a good idea either. I don't think this is that big because he actually, if he does it this way right now, I might just go that way. Yeah, see, like without the corner here, it's not really that big. And I'm going to fly down right now. I am actually not afraid to fight him at all right now. If he cuts here, I'm going to go this way because I have plenty of liberties here. Actually, now I don't know if I want to go that way, but we'll see. That solves that problem. And this is definitely not a good situation for him. You can see this is like a very bad situation for black right now. I'm just going to do this. I don't think I should do that, but we'll see. You should definitely Hane this one. There's no doubt that you should Hane that. And when I do that, you should definitely play Q15, just for shape purposes. Because right now, like, you don't have the corner, you don't have the eye, and you're basically just being attacked on all sides right now. And I'm just going to make use of these. Like, my group's not really under threat, so I'm definitely going to make use of this to make this huge territory over here. Honestly, it's probably not the best use of that, but I feel like it's a pretty decent one. I don't know. I'm just going to do this. I feel like taking Gote here isn't the best idea for him. This group is still fairly weak. I can play... that's not worth it. I'm going to go ahead and play P12 and then continue to attack this group. He has to connect. That's a very bad idea. I don't think there's a way you can get out of that. That doesn't really help that group, and it just gave me more points. So I don't think that was definitely not a good move by him, and this group is still very weak. That's fine. This also helps my group over here, so this is okay. I might have been better off playing like... I honestly might have been better off playing like L11 though. M11. But I am okay using his weakness to actually get territory. Because he's not going to be able to kill this group here. So this group really isn't under any threat. So like I got this huge territory here without having to give up anything. And the thing is, he's still not alive here. This is risky, just like the last game, but whatever. I would have probably played I might have played 13. But this isn't a real problem. He doesn't have two eyes on. If he goes this way, he doesn't actually have two eyes. I'm just gonna cut this then. It doesn't matter if he gets this little bit of territory. Like, I've gotten this entire thing, and that's like not recoverable. Like if I get that, that's really not recoverable under any extent. And I'm just going to kind of like patch this up here. So this is dead. Like I said, I just have to make sure everything else is alive. And I've got this game locked down pretty much. Because what he actually... like even if I'll let him get this because it's really not that much territory, first of all. And there's really not a way that he can even come close after having lost this group here, obviously. And just like patch get some of the big, like, definitely get like some of the bigger moves. This actually might be worth fixing, maybe? No. There's no point in doing that. Why not? Correct response. Yep. Gets a little bit of territory there, but it's really not that big of a deal. Just gonna go here. This is actually fairly large, I guess. That's not going to work. At least not right now. Even if he makes, even honestly, if he somehow makes eyes in there, it's not really going to matter. Also, like you would definitely, if you wanted to live, you would play like H3. Because I'm just going to take the lower, I'm just going to take away his eye space. So there's nothing he can actually do in here. Once this is like this thick, you can't invade. That's actually really interesting, except for the fact that he actually that this is still like in my mouth, so I can just connect this. I mean, like that doesn't work because of that, and now there's really nothing there. This is buttoned up too tight, and like I said, even if he managed to live a group down here, I would still be ahead by a lot, just because like this was really big. And even without this, I have like this corner and this corner. You just, so like you do this because you destroy his eye shape here. There's no eye shape here. I don't even know if I need to respond to that. I'm just going to go here. There's no eye there. Yeah, there's no actual eye there. You didn't need to do that. There was nothing there. So I'm just kind of like shoring up my points right now. He does need to respond to this, though. That he definitely needs to respond to. Yeah. I don't think there's anything left. I'm going to fill in this. Well, I don't think there's anything left. There's another fill in right there. That's about it. I actually don't need to really respond to that, but I will. There's no need to play this out. He doesn't have enough liberties here. So honestly, it really doesn't matter. Because if I do this, this is like a one-step kill. And I can gut this through. So there is like, these moves aren't really going to work. I mean, like, the thing is, if you connect these two groups, it doesn't really matter, because even if you connect them, they still don't have two eyes.
Pass. Remove the dead stones. You have won.
So let me actually go back and review this game. A little bit at least. I personally think I probably made the wrong move this way. I think the better move would actually be this way. If he does this, you can just honey this. I feel like that's better. I think it doesn't really, I don't think it matters too much either way. I get to honey up, he does that. I feel like you almost have to honey this. If I do this, you can think about doing that. And then there's a resulting fight here. So let me actually see how this turns out. Probably have to block. No, because then that wins. That's 4 on 3, so I guess you couldn't do that. But what if you did this? You can't do this because this extend would basically kill black. Maybe like this? I'm not really sure how this I don't really know how that turns out. I mean, it's something like that. Because if white does this, black can just block here, and that would kill the corners. The white corner is still under threat. I can see this. I don't think this is like this is a much better result for black than white. So I don't think white would actually. I don't think white would double Hane because I don't think this actually favors. Maybe this. Yeah, this would probably kill. I guess I could double Hane because if I do this, then he has to block, and then if he does this, I can not this way. I can just cut this way. So that would actually work. So I guess I could double Hane. And this, I think, would be... I don't think it would be horrible for black. It's not great, but I think that would be okay. This, I just... Like, this is a clear white advantage. If you do this, I can always opt to go this way. And then, since that, I would probably just double approach. But it might have actually been better had I just opted to do this. Or maybe had I just opted to connect, because you do, like, you kind of, like, black does want to do this, and then white would get sent to anyways, right? So I kind of, like, skipped that. That's a bad move because of that. Like, you could do this. You could honestly do this in this scenario, and that would be fine for black. Or, you know, just doing the regular Joseki would be fine as well. I think that would be fine as well. This is a bad move because it doesn't protect you against this. Also, I could probably just not respond and just maybe like go here because this is actually pretty big. But I did respond here. That's really bad move. When white does this, you have to Hane. Letting white get the Hane is giving up the corner, and an extra extension here is not going to be as big as the corner. I think I did this wrong. I think I should have extended down. I definitely should have extended down. This is actually a pretty big difference. You can see it's like an 8-point difference. Either that or I just ignore, but I think I should have extended down. but I connected. There's no reason to do that right now. That's not big enough. So black at this point would either like do this or probably do this. This is actually a pretty big move right now. So you extend down. I'm going to come up this way. This you don't respond to right now. Yeah, there's influence over here, but it's not doesn't really threaten you. Hane, now you have to respond, and then you still have to respond. So this is a really, really bad shape for black. So when I Hane here, when I do this, you probably don't respond. You would just do this or do this or something. Because like if you respond and I Hane again, now you have to respond. Of course, I do that. That solidifies this group. Now if you do this, I'm probably just going to come this way, and it's going to be hard for you to deal with here. He does that. That's fine. I'm going to hop down and threaten this. I don't think this is a good move because black's not actually alive here. I'm going to block, and then yeah, this is because like at this point, like every one of these moves for white is kind of a forcing move. So black basically has to take just a few points, and then white can essentially like get the outside influence, and the outside influence is worth much more than 5 points. So obviously, like this is a bad trade for black. That's why like that move isn't that critical. I would probably still done this for black just to avoid that. And after you've done this, that actually is a thing, because now if I do this, you have like there is actually a bit of a problem because you can always live like this. There might be a bit of a problem for black. I don't know. It's just a really bad situation down here for him to do this. So the thing is, if I go down here, if I'm black, I mean, this is a bad situation, but like maybe just do this, you know. If he does that, you can do that on the way out. I don't, nah, this doesn't really work, I guess. But yeah, this is just such a critical move. Like I feel like black has to extend over here first, because when white does this, like it just feels really, really bad for black. Like he's almost forced to do stuff like this to even live, and that just gives white such a huge advantage. Also, same thing here. You have to Hane. Here, this move is very critical. This flattens out white's shape, and it makes you a lot stronger. Doing this, letting me Hane on here, like you can see the results of that. I'm not gonna like that move has value, but not that much value right now. I'm gonna come out on top, and the thing is, like, if you did this, I could just counter. So you're in a very, very bad position regardless. So that's why this move is so significant. And also white has to connect, because if white doesn't connect, pushing down, like if white like just ignores you, right? Like if white just ignores you, like this is very, very serious for white. So white actually has to respond. So this is why you do this move. It's a shape move, and it's also sente. And this like curling shape is very, very bad for black. So like at this point, white is very, very far ahead. So I'm basically just trading points at this point. That's unnecessary. The most I can do, like, I would just do this. If white does this, just, all right, cool, white does this. He gets like those points in there. That's not a big deal. So there was no need for this. Letting me get this, and then, you know, I'm going to start attacking this group. And realistically, even bigger than that, I feel like just jumping out, or maybe even, I don't know, jumping over and putting some pressure on this group would be bigger than this move right here. So I'm going to start attacking. That's a very bad move because it just basically gives me free points. I didn't really need to respond to this. I think I could have just done this, honestly, because that would put a lot of pressure on these stones. And it would be very, very hard for these stones to live once I enclose like this. So my mistake there. Like I was too focused on these two stones. I should have just done this and killed this off. So here, continuing to put pressure on this. Now I'm not actually trying to kill this right now, as you can see. I'm letting him go, but I'm just taking the opportunity. And obviously, like, I'm using this down here to build up this territory. So that secures this territory basically. And I'm not giving up too much because he already had these points down here. So I'm essentially only giving up like 5 or 6 points here to build up this entire territory. Here, yeah, I don't know about that one. This is a very bad situation because if you do this, but you have to remember, black can do this. You have to remember, black can actually do that. But letting me come through, letting me Hane this, I think I should have just done this immediately. Because there's really, at this point with this sticking out, black really has no way to make 2 eyes. He's still dead in here. So I feel like I screwed up there on this move. Once I did this, black should have definitely either done something like this to actually connect and get this group out. Because I just gave him an opportunity. I essentially just gave him an opportunity. I essentially just gave him an opportunity to fix his error here. Especially by doing this. Here, yeah, I just gave him an opportunity to fix this. I retreat out. But then now I do this, and now this is completely dead. I was still wondering what happens if he does this. I probably would have I might have just blocked. He doesn't have too many liberties down here, but this, yeah, I don't think that would have worked for him either way. But in this situation, if I was black, I would have done this. Because I know that, because this is pretty easy to calculate out. If you do this, you can't fix both cuts, and either one of those cuts will kill this group. So if I was black, I would definitely do this and see how it works out. I don't think it works out very well for black because there's no way black can get out of this, but I would just do that to see what changes could actually take place. So obviously, at this point, I don't really care. I'm just going to cut this group. You can get all the points here, and you'd still be way, way behind. This was the only kind of weak point left, so that's why I did that. But it's not really a weak point because if black had, let's say did this, I'd just do something random. I would have just blocked, and I would have just done that. And realistically, there's no way black can do anything. So that's not really a weakness, but I just decided to shore that up just in case. Now it's just me taking Sentes. That's not necessary. I feel like the biggest move is definitely this. Coming in the corner right now. So that's that game. Basically, really bad, very bad starting Josekis. Not recognizing the shape on the 3 corners. Giving up those 3 corners gave me a 30-point lead already. And then obviously giving up this group gave me even more. So thanks for watching. Like and subscribe. Hit that bell notifications button. And I'll be back tomorrow.